right, y'all. How is it going today? Happy Tuesday. Let's jump in and have some fun. We are doing the Finding Clients the Easy Way mini series, and I'm going to do a quick recap of what we talked about yesterday because it is the most important part. Yesterday, we were talking about having the mindset and the heart space to be able to attract clients to you, right? And it's so interesting because I was just on a big group coaching call in my coaching program that I'm in, and we were talking about this, this very same thing of needing to raise your vibration to be able to attract the kinds of people you want and to receive the kinds of money that you want, to kind of receive really just everything that you desire. And just a quick recap from yesterday, we talked about how your mindset so much has to do with what you're populating your thinking with. Are you actually imagining, thinking, and visualizing the thing that you want, right? The kind of clients you want to work with, the kind of business that you want to have, how you want to be working with your clients. And then the heart space is that open receptivity. It's that receiving of your soul. It's that stepping forward into who you really are. It's that authenticity. And it's also your ability to receive, to vibrate, right? To have that state that you want to attract new people to you. So that was what we talked about yesterday. We really were focusing on the mindset and the heart space of how to attract clients. Today, we are focusing on getting your marketing domination checklist in order and getting your social media presence in order. Now, this is a huge topic, okay? This is big. And so what I'm giving you today is going to be super simple. Hey, what's up? Whoever's with me right now, I'm not sure. It's not showing who you are. So if you could drop your name in the comments, that would be awesome. So today we are talking about social media and how you can design your content for the whole week. Now, I'm going to actually show you a example of what I'm doing this week here in just a moment. I'm going to bring that on the screen. Hey, Lori Lee, good to see you. We still need to catch up, but really good to have you on here. So today we're talking about getting your social media in order. And before I show you my checklist, I want to just kind of give you sort of a bigger picture of what you can be doing with your social media. And I really like this. I learned this not too long ago. This was, maybe 4 months ago that I first learned about it. And I really didn't start implementing it until probably the last month or two, so what you want to do, you want to actually have 4 categories that really covers everything in your business, right? Now, you can have a lot of topics that go under each of those categories. We could call each of those categories a bucket, right? Let's just call it a bucket. So in each of these buckets, you can have lots of different things. But generally speaking, you want to focus on one of those buckets per week as like your overarching theme. So for me, and this is probably going to get refined because I feel like some of mine might be still too big and broad, but that's what I'm doing. So for me, like one of my buckets is business strategies and tactics because I'm a business coach. So one of my buckets is how do you do this, right? Like how do you do your marketing? How do you attract clients? How do you do all these different things? So the strategies of business, right? And what's working in business and what can work for you in business. That's one of my buckets. A second bucket I have is money frequency. And a lot of you might have been seeing me post money affirmations lately. I've been doing a lot of money affirmations posting because I've been working with money affirmations for a few years. So that's one of my buckets, right? Is money frequency, money story, wealth frequency, all that kind of stuff. So I got business strategy, I got money frequency. Third one is habit change. And habit change can be pretty big and broad, but it is. I like to teach people, how do you actually change your habits, right? How do you actually let go of old habits? How do you focus on new ones? That's a big passion of mine. I love learning how to do it. I love implementing it. A lot of you heard about how I've been upgrading my sleep through a program I've been in for the last 5.5 weeks. That's been huge for me. It's been a habit that's been like, hurting me. So I love to help people change that. And that was kind of a combination a couple weeks ago when I did the Get Your Shit Together mini series. I was doing kind of habits and business, right? Like really changing those, really putting those two together. And then the fourth bucket that I do is probably the biggest one, right? Which is metaphysics, spirituality, mindset work. It's transformation. It's like this really big one, which is what my life was for 22 years straight at the School of Metaphysics. And so that one gets woven into a lot of what I do. And then sometimes I really focus in on some area of that. So you can have your buckets more refined, which is probably smart, but you can also start kind of broad, and you can just work those through and just work one a week, right? And everything you do, everything you post for, let's say Monday through Friday of that week is something to do within that one bucket, right? So let's say if you're a health coach of some sort, maybe you're a fitness coach, maybe you teach people how to lose weight. You could literally take a bucket from that, and it might be, maybe if you're a health coach in general, and one of your buckets is just like fitness and movement, right? And you could talk for 5 days about different aspects of moving your body and fitness and what works and why some things work better for some people. So you kind of see how you can kind of drill that down and how you can work that. So I know this is, again, this is pretty big picture, and we're not, we're going to drill down a little bit more, because I'm going to show you what I've been doing, what I'm going to be doing this week. But just to kind of recognize that this is kind of an overall strategy that can simplify things for you, so that you can start to just get some content out there. Because my last business coach, the one before I have now, the one I had last year, amazing dude, Ryan Yakomi. Check out his podcast, the Soul Wealth Podcast. Super cool guy. Sometimes I call him the Buddha of Vancouver, because he's so cool. One of the things that he always told me was that what gets seen gets paid. What gets seen gets paid. And that is so true, because the things that people see on social media, they will buy, right? Whether that's a coaching program, whether that's a healer or an online service provider, or whether that's a product, if you see it enough, you're going to actually engage with it, right? So that's why it's very important to post something every day. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do these long form posts every day. It doesn't mean you have to do a 20-minute video every day. You can keep things very simple, and you always want to start with the most simple, so that you're consistent and have simplicity and quality over quantity first. Then you can add quantity. And I tried to do quantity before quality, and I always just get frustrated and annoyed. So I know Lori Lay is with us. Looks like someone else jumped on. If you just jumped on, drop a comment so we know who you are and what you're up to. And I'm going to share my screen. Oh, wait, I'm not on Zoom, so I don't know if I can. Oh, shit. I meant to do this through Zoom, and I totally forgot to do that. So let's see. Yep. I may have to, let's see. I might have to just describe this to you all. My apologies. I meant to go into Zoom. Hey, Karen. Hey, does anybody know? Does anybody know if there's a way to share your screen on StreamYard? So if not, then I'm just going to do the best I can with what I've got. But if anybody knows, Karen, if you know how to do that, I know you know a bunch of cool things. Let me know. There's a green screen. There's a bunch of other stuff, and I'm not seeing a way to do that. So, okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll try to show you guys on camera. Okay. So, and I don't know if this is going to be reversed or if you can actually read this. So, this is my my weekly domination checklist, right? So so yesterday I actually was really wiped out from the weekend, and I did not even have this ready to go. So I was actually working on this yesterday, but if you look closely, you can see that oh, thank you. I'm glad that you all can read it. And my chicken scratch is already kind of hard to read. So if you look here, I've got different things that I'm doing. I've got my live show, which usually I would just do on Thursdays, but when I'm doing a mini series, I do it every single day. So you can see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? I'm doing it every day. And that's just something I decided I wanted to do because somebody recommended it, and I thought, man, this would be cool. And I've got enough to share. Now, you don't have to do that, but I'm just saying that's an example. And you can kind of see all the different topics based on some polls that I did and some ideas that I came up with. And I'm doing these for like 15, 20 minutes a day when I do these because I have plenty of things to talk about. Then if you look here, I've got consult invite. So that's something I started to do recently where once or twice a week, I drop a post just inviting people, reminding people that I'm a coach, I'm a business coach. And if they want to get together for 30 minutes and talk about how I can help their business, we can actually do that. And I drop a calendar link, boom. Now, I'm not doing that every day. I don't want to bombard people with that every day. Once a week, maybe twice a week, I'll do that. Usually towards the latter end of the week because you want to, you really want to give, and then ask, right? You want to always be giving more and then asking for something in return because it's kind of the nature of how we are, right? We people want to know they're receiving value and they want to know us and trust us before they're going to give something to us, which is their time and possibly their money in a program of some sort. So now I've got here workshop invites. So I think a lot of you all knew that I did the Manifest Your Heart's Desire Business Accelerator a couple months ago. I'm going to do it again, bigger and better at the end of April. So I've got to get promoting for this because it's 3 weeks out. It's less than 3 weeks out now. And so I'm going to be promoting every single day. In fact, I dropped a post today and it was just a simple one of those, like some hearts. And I, as a background, I just said, hey, this is coming on April 26th. And when I get my other post designed by one of my virtual assistants, then we're going to, we're gonna put some of those up. But I am gonna do one every day this week, and probably most days I'm gonna be dropping one of those. And I'm also tagging. You can see here I say tag 50 people. So I'm tagging people in the group. And you can do that manually, but I actually have a CRM that lets me do that very quickly. And so I'm tagging 50 people every day in the group just to make sure that they see it because I want people to know about this. Again, we're about 3 weeks out, and I just want a lot of people to know that that's coming up. So that's something that I'm doing. A promo for the live show, which again is the live show being the mini series I'm doing. So I'm trying to drop some simple, just a quick like, hey, we're going live in an hour. We're going live at 1 p.m. today, just to remind people that the live show is coming up. So that's another way you can do things. Another one, a content must is I'm doing money affirmations in my profile and in this Facebook group every day, pretty much every day during the week. I didn't do one yesterday, but pretty much every day. It's simple. I have a whole bunch of them that I say or have said, typed up and written down, and all these other great sources that I've gotten them from. So that's something I like to pass on because it seems to inspire people, and it's one of my buckets, right? Let's see. Then I've got I got to read this. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I have a podcast, right? I have a podcast called You're the Superhero, and it comes out once a week. And every other week, it's either a interview with someone, a business owner, someone really amazing, doing amazing work in the world, or it's me giving some kind of solo message content, usually around spiritual business, entrepreneurialism, intuitive business, all this kind of thing. So I am doing really, it comes out on Tuesdays. So I'm probably going to do a little promo for it today. I'll probably do some tomorrow and then again Thursday. And I'll divide that up between my Facebook profile, my group in Facebook, my stories, my Instagram, different places on Instagram. And I could always do it other places as well, but I'm trying to keep it simple right now and not get too crazy. But I want to make sure to support my podcast as well as to help everybody who's getting benefit from it, and the person who Arnold Smith was my guest, to promote him. Going to make sure that happens and the word gets out about that. And then finally, the other thing I have on here for this week is, because I've been talking up a lot about business readings, intuitive business readings. Some friends of mine do some really great business readings that I'm incorporating more right now. And so I'm going to take an excerpt from either mine or, because I've had two of those, and possibly other people who I know who've had them, or just other excerpts that I know. And I'm going to drop one in on Friday because I want to get that, some of that moving more, because it's been kind of brewing in my mind. It's been happening. So the whole idea behind this, and then, I had also something my coaches teach me about how to, hope, and conviction. That's just some different, that's just like how to is what you mostly want to be posting in your posts, because how to is, how do you do this, right? How do you make X, Y, and Z happen? What problem do you solve? What benefit do you provide, and how does that happen? So those are going to be most of your posts, but also some people call it hope posts, where you're just inspiring people to say, this is what you can do, this is what's possible. And then conviction posts are very much like your method, right? Your system, your coaching, your product or service that you offer, and why it's different, maybe better, but certainly different, in that it meets a certain need or fills a certain gap that other people's don't, right? So yeah, I know this was like a lot. If anybody has a question before we wrap up, let me know. But the whole idea here is that, again, you want consistency and quality over quantity at first when you're doing social media, organic marketing. We're not talking about Facebook ads right now. We're just talking about getting your message out and being consistent with it. And I know for me that has been one of the hardest things for me, just to be like, okay, as I figured out my business and like, what am I about? Who am I really serving? Now, what do I want to focus on within that, which is the buckets that we talked about, the 4 buckets that you want to have, and then the overarching umbrellas between that. And then having something, and I tell you, it's very helpful when you do this and have this marketing domination checklist created ahead of time, because then it's like you line your ducks up all in a row. You know what you are trying to accomplish, and you can just go. And you don't have to sit and think every day, oh, what should I post about? What am I trying to do? You know where you're headed. You have an idea of what you're going to do. And whether that's a live video, whether that's a long form post, a question, or just dropping something in that's very short, like the money affirmations that I do, you know what that is, and it's super simple. All right, y'all, this has been fun. We're pushing about 20 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up here. We'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll be talking about social selling and some of the different aspects of social selling, and also that kind of gets into a little bit of networking with people online, as well as sending DMs and voice memos. So we'll probably cover all of that in one training tomorrow and just land a lot there, because there's a lot to cover. All right, you all have been amazing. This has been a blast. Please drop any questions or comments, and we'll try to address them. If not today, then later, maybe tomorrow. And if this was helpful for you, tag somebody in the post, pass it along. Give us a shout. What was your main takeaway from this? If everybody could drop what your one main takeaway was, that will be super, super helpful. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. As always, be invincible.